Morning, welcome to this chilly morning. In this video I'm going to tell you about how I've adapted my setup here at the hide to make it a little bit more interesting as time's gone by. It's now been about a month since I've changed the hide and changed the perches, and it's settled down a lot more now. The birds are starting to visit again, and so in that time I've started to think about how I can just keep it fresh by changing the perches and adding little bits of extra things. So in this video I'm going to show you everything that I've done. If you haven't seen the other videos in the series, particularly the one about how I set up the hide and set up the perches, go and check those out now. I'll link those below in the description. While you're sitting in the hide, you tend to think a lot about how you can improve the setup and tweak things to make the pictures that you're getting better. And I'm going to give you some tips about how each perch has adapted over time to get a better shot. This is my gate that I found in a previous video, but what I've done is I've made it a lot more stable at the bottom so it doesn't wobble at all. So I've put some extra braces on the bottom there to make it more stable. But what I've also done here at the back, I've put a little feeder that I can stick mealworms in, and that is great for attracting birds, and then they come and sit on this perch here, and so from the front you can't actually see that feeder and it makes a really nice shot. A fairly recent development that I've done is I've made this screen, which is a plastic hedge simulation, so it's going to be quite durable, and I've just made a frame on the back to support it, and it just hangs on this tree. But what it does is when I come around to this tree, which is where the woodpecker tends to land, because in the back of it are all my holes with suet in it, what it does is it creates a really good background, and because it's so far behind this tree, it's way out of focus, and so it creates a really lovely background. I've bought lots of these metal posts. I think they're used for fencing, but they're great for supporting perches. I'll just show you these. This perch is supported by two of these metal posts, and they're dead cheap. They're about £3. And what I've done is got some Velcro here just to fasten it on, so it's really quite secure. Velcro's dead quick, so you can whip it off, whip it on, and change the way that your perches are configured. Here's another perch, but this time it's held on with a clamp. Lots of twigs there to give birds plenty of opportunities for places to land. Finally, I've got a couple of perches here. This one sticks up, so it's quite close to the feeders, and it gives a really good place for the birds to land just before they jump across there to the feeders. And this one, let's just go back a little bit, is a single twig, again quite close to the feeders, but it doesn't look very much on this video, but when you take a picture with the proper camera, it throws the background way out of focus and you get a really nice shot. I'm now right by where the camera comes out of the hide. So if I turn around and look at the perches, what I've tried to do is I've tried to arrange them so they're all not overlapping each other. That way, wherever the birds land, there's going to be a clean background. And that's taken a little bit of organising just to make sure that there's no overlap. Something that has been causing me a little bit of problem in the back of the shot are these pet graves, because they've got some plaques on the front of them that when the sun comes from this direction early in the morning, it tends to create a really bright highlight in the back of the shot. So I've come up with a solution. I've got some old camo net, so I just throw that over the top, and from the hide it's so far away that it just becomes completely invisible. The hide itself's had a little bit of attention as well. What I've done is I've stuck this overhang on the front, so it serves two purposes. One, it protects the lens as it projects out of the hide if it's raining, so you can carry on taking pictures with no worries. Also, it protects the side of the shed. Where I've cut holes in for the camera to come through, it's obviously a place where water can get into the shed, but this protects that from happening as well. Since my last video, I have started putting some extra feed out. I've started putting some peanuts out. Now with peanuts, it's really important that you put them in a mesh container so that the birds, especially the small birds, can't take the peanuts whole because there's a danger of choking from them. Also, I've started putting out dried mealworms. The starlings in particular go mad for the mealworms, and they go very quickly. They're always the first things to go. There's a quick guide of how I've set up my perches and hide at the moment. Now bear in mind that I've got plenty of time, and my setup tends to be for more recreational type photographs. I can come and sit in the hide for an hour or two at a time, and there's lots of opportunities to take different pictures because I've got lots of different perches. But if you've got limited time, or you want to try and encourage the birds to land on a particular perch, one thing that you can do is strip away all the other perches and just leave a single one. You can even go as far as taking away all the other feeders to just leave one feeder and one perch. In that way, you stand a better chance of getting the birds to land where you want to. It encourages competition for the feeders, and so as they're trying to get to the feeder, they're more likely to land on the perch that you want them to. I'm very likely to do that. Once the blossom starts coming out, I'm going to start putting perches out with blossom on them. In that situation, I'm really going to want the birds to land on that branch and nothing else. So I'll start to take away all the other perches. But we're a few weeks yet away from the blossom coming out, but I'm going to keep a close eye on it. So as soon as it's there, I'm going to get the perches out and start getting pictures of the birds on it. So, as usual, I'm going to leave you with a few shots that I've taken over the past few weeks of the birds that have visited here at the hide. Hope you've enjoyed this video and found it useful. If you have, please don't forget to like and subscribe. I've put links to other videos down below in the descriptions. Go and check those out. But for now, I'll see you soon.